Think about the last time you walked into a room. Maybe it was a high-stakes meeting, a family dinner, or even just a coffee date, and you felt a strange, heavy pressure to act a certain way. Without a word being spoken, you knew exactly which version of yourself you were supposed to bring to the table. Maybe you were the peacekeeper who smooths over every awkward silence. Maybe you're the performer who keeps everyone entertained. Or perhaps you're the reliable one who always says yes, even when your schedule is screaming no. What you're feeling in those moments isn't just social etiquette, it's an invisible contract. See, most of our relationships aren't just built on love or shared interests, they're built on predictability. People know you, but what they often mean is that they've mapped out your responses. They know which buttons to push to get a specific reaction. They know that if they apply a certain amount of pressure, you'll fold, you'll over-explain, or you'll apologize for things that aren't even your fault. Here's the hard truth. To the world around you, a predictable person is a manageable person. Society, corporate structures, and even some of our closest friends subconsciously prefer us when we are manageable. Why? Because it's safe. It requires zero effort on their part to adjust. As long as you stay within the lines of that invisible contract, the system stays balanced. But there is a high price for that balance. Every time you fulfill someone else's expectation at the expense of your own truth, you're trading away a piece of your autonomy. You're essentially telling the world, I am a variable you can control. In this chapter, we have to acknowledge that these contracts exist. We have to look at our own patterns and ask, am I being nice, or am I just being easy to handle? Because true influence, the kind that actually commands respect, never comes from being manageable. It comes from the moment you decide that your internal alignment is more important than someone else's convenience. The moment you realize that you never actually signed these contracts is the moment you become the most dangerous person in the room. Dangerous to the status quo, and finally, a leader of yourself. So how do you actually tear up that invisible contract? You don't do it with a grand speech or a dramatic exit. You do it by introducing a glitch into the social software. Think of human interaction like a computer program. Most people are running a script. If they do action A, they expect you to perform reaction B. If they criticize you, they expect a defense. If they ghost you, they expect a double text. When you provide that expected reaction, you're just confirming the code. You're staying manageable. The glitch happens the moment you stop providing the expected data points. You do this through two incredibly simple yet devastatingly effective tools: Calmness and Brevity. The power of the short answer. We've been conditioned to believe that over-explaining is a sign of honesty. In reality, over-explaining is a sign of submission. When you give 1,000 reasons why you can't do something, you aren't being clear. You're giving the other person a list of handles they can pull you back into their agenda. Imagine someone makes an unreasonable demand. The old you would have said, "Oh, I'd love to, but I'm so busy with X, Y, and Z, and my car is acting up, and maybe next week." That's a buffet of options for a manipulator. The new you says, "I can't make that work, period. No sorry, no because, no maybe." That silence that follows, that's the glitch. By refusing to fill that space with excuses, you've suddenly made your time and your decisions non-negotiable. Calmness is a superpower. The second part of the glitch is emotional detachment. Most people try to control others by tilting their emotional floor. They get loud, they get disappointed, or they use passive aggression to make you feel off balance. When you remain calm, not cold, but genuinely centered, you refuse to join them on that tilted floor. You become a mirror. When someone is yelling and you respond with a quiet, "I hear that you're frustrated," you aren't just being polite. You are demonstrating that they do not have the remote control to your internal state. Why it works? When you are brief and calm, you become unreadable. And in the world of social dynamics, unreadability is synonymous with authority. People can't manage what they can't map. When you stop leaking energy through nervous chatter and reactive emotions, you start holding all the cards. You've interrupted the pattern, you've broken the script, and now the system has no choice but to stop trying to handle you and start trying to how to respect you. But be ready, because once the system realizes it can't control you with the old rules, it's going to try to reset you. Here's where it gets uncomfortable. Whenever you change the rules of a game that everyone else was winning, they're not going to cheer for you. In fact, they're going to try to repair you. This is what I call the systemic recalibration. Think of a mobile or a hanging balance. If you pull on one string, the whole thing shakes until it finds a new center. When you stop being the manageable version of yourself, you've pulled the string. The people around you, your boss, your partner, your friends, are going to feel that instability. And their first instinct isn't going to be, "I'm so happy for your growth." It's going to be, "How do I get the old version back?" The resistance phase. This is the moment of truth. Because you are no longer playing your assigned role, the system will try to shame you back into your box. You'll start hearing specific labels. "You've changed. I feel like I have to walk on eggshells around you." Notice the language. These aren't observations, they are reinstallation attempts. They are trying to use your old agreeable settings against you. If they can make you feel guilty for your newfound boundaries, they win. They get their predictable, manageable person back. The shift from manipulation to caution. If you hold your ground, if you stay calm, stay brief, and stay detached from the drama, something fascinating happens. The system realizes that the old tools of guilt and expectation don't hook into you anymore. When a manipulator realizes their tactics are sliding off you like water off a raincoat, they experience a moment of genuine confusion. This is where the recalibration actually takes place. They have to find a new way to interact with you because the old way is officially broken. They stop trying to manipulate and start acting with caution. This caution is the precursor to respect. People don't respect what they can control. They respect what they have to account for. By refusing to be handled, you force others to meet you at your new level. They start choosing their words more carefully. They stop assuming your yes. They begin to treat your time and your energy as high-value assets rather than communal property. You haven't forced them to change through an argument. You've compelled them to change by becoming a fixed point. You are the new reality they have to navigate around. At this point, you might feel a surge of power. You've broken the contract, you've survived the pushback, and you're starting to see people adjust to the new you. The temptation now is to flex, to get loud, to point out everyone else's flaws, or to use your new boundaries as a weapon. Don't do it. That's the ego trap. There is a massive difference between being powerful and being aggressive. In fact, they're often opposites. Loud confrontation is usually a sign that the external world has successfully poked you. It shows that someone else was able to get under your skin and force a reaction out of you. The moment you start shouting, you've lost your leverage. The physics of the quiet pivot. True influence is quiet leverage. Think of it like a martial art. If someone lunges at you with all their weight and you simply step aside, they fall because of their own momentum. When you use quiet leverage, you're not fighting the other person's energy, you're just refusing to be the wall they crash into. Loud ego says, "You can't talk to me like that. Who do you think you are?" This starts a war. Quiet leverage says, "I'm going to end this conversation now. We can try again when you are able to speak calmly." This sets a standard. The second option is infinitely more terrifying to a manipulator because it's a demonstration of self-mastery. You're not trying to control their volume, you are controlling your presence. Why silence is the ultimate weapon. In a world that won't stop talking, the person who can sit in silence without flinching holds all the cards. Silence creates a vacuum, and human nature loathes a vacuum. People will rush to fill it. When you stop over-communicating, you stop leaking power. Most people talk because they're desperate for approval or terrified of being misunderstood. When you let go of the need to be properly understood by people who don't have your best interests at heart, you gain an incredible amount of leverage, the anchor in the storm. Self-mastery means you are no longer a reactive creature, you are an active one. You decide how much of yourself to give, when to give it, and most importantly, when to withdraw it. When you operate from this place of quiet authority, you become the anchor in every room you enter. While everyone else is reacting to the news, the gossip, or the office drama, you remain a fixed point. This consistency is what builds long-term influence. People realize they can't shake you, so they eventually stop trying and start following your lead. We've reached the final shift, and it's the most profound one of all. This is where the work you've done internally, the brevity, the boundaries, the quiet leverage, stops being a tactic and starts becoming your natural frequency. In the beginning, you were acting with autonomy to change your situation, but your autonomy begins to change your reality. Internal stability, external alignment. There is a fundamental law of social dynamics. The person with the most internal stability eventually sets the tone for the entire environment. When you move from being manageable to being autonomous, you stop being a satellite orbiting other people's moods and expectations. Instead, you become the sun. You have your own gravitational pull. You'll notice a strange phenomenon. The chaos that used to follow you, the constant fires you had to put out, the high-maintenance people demanding your time, the subtle disrespect starts to evaporate. It's not necessarily because those people changed, but because they no longer have a place to land in your life. A system cannot function if one of its core components refuses to play its part. By stabilizing your internal state, you have compelled the external system to align with your new authority. The sovereignty of choice. True personal authority is the ability to walk into any room and know that you are okay regardless of the outcome. If they like you, great. If they don't, that's their data point to process, not yours. You are no longer looking for a seat at the table by being the most helpful or the most agreeable. You are the table. This is the ultimate form of freedom. You aren't rebellious. Rebellion is still a reaction to someone else's power. You are sovereign. You make choices based on your internal values, not out of a fear of social friction. The quiet legacy. As you move forward, people will look at you and wonder how you stay so calm, how you say so much with so few words, and how you manage to command so much respect without ever raising your voice. They'll call it charisma, but you'll know the truth. It's simply the result of refusing to sign invisible contracts. It's the result of mastering the glitch and standing firm during the recalibration. You are no longer a variable in someone else's equation. You are the architect of your own. Your life is no longer about being managed, it's about being lived.